This is a quick foam rolling routine. I have a half foam roller here. I prefer the longer ones. I feel like they're easier to maneuver. So I will obviously be doing it the harder way with a shorter one. But if you have a longer one, great. If you have different firmness levels, that's great too. We'll just go through the different parts of your body that you can foam roll. Let's start at the bottom. So calves. You can set your foam roller right at the bottom near your Achilles, and you're going to use your hands as support here. You're going to roll up toward the back of your knee and back down. Now, you will hear me say this a couple times, but you never roll over a joint. You never roll over your ankles, over your knees. You are only rolling out your muscles. So this is a short muscle from back to top, from top to bottom. Then I'm going to have you take one foot, just your right foot, place it on near the Achilles. So we're going to divide our calf up into 3 parts. We're going to do that lower part. So put it right there. Place your left foot over the top of your right one, and then you're just going to take the right and go side to side, taking it back and forth. Now when you find a sticky part where your muscle is really sore, I just want you to take a circle with your foot one direction and a circle with your foot the other direction, and then back and forth in that spot. Now I'm going to stick with you in all of these movements because I think some people go through all the movements of the foam roller and then they're like, you do it on your time. I'm going to stay with you so that you get all the way through. Then we're going to move on up. We're going to come to that middle part of the calf. Place the top foot on top, and then once again side to side. Ooh, you're going to find some sticky parts in there. At least my calves are very tight because I did a running workout the other day and my calves are still feeling it. So once again, as you're going back and forth nice and slow, when you find that place of tension, give yourself an ankle roll in both directions with that bottom foot, and then back and forth. Make sure you're breathing as you're rolling. Remember, this is breaking up lactic acid and breaking up the fascia in your body, and that fascia goes all the way through your whole body over every muscle group. All right, let's head to that last part, so the highest part of the calf, right below the knee. Let's put that top foot on and then back and forth once again. So we broke the calf into 3 parts. We're just going side to side, and when you find that place of tension, go ahead and give yourself a roll in both directions. So once again, rolling out is about the myofascial release. The fascia goes, it's like shrink wrap over all of the muscles of our body. So we need to kind of be persistent with it. It's not something we can just kind of poke at or do one rollout and then think we're done. It takes some tension, some time. All right, let's go to the other side. Start at the bottom again. Let's place our left foot on the foam roller, our right foot on top, and then we're going back and forth, side to side. So now, in all of the muscle groups that we do, in all of the movements we do, we might find a place, like you might find a place that doesn't really hurt, that doesn't really bother you. And that's great. It just means that you're probably not very tense in that muscle group, which is fantastic. Maybe you've been rolling out before, maybe you've been doing massage, or maybe you're just really good at loosening your muscles and not holding on to tension. Either way, if you find a muscle group that doesn't have any sticky points, that doesn't mean skip that muscle group. It just means maybe you don't have to spend as much time there. But when you find a muscle group like me, my calves are super tight. When you find a muscle group that is very tight, you need to hang out there for a bit. Let's come to our mid-calf. Place that top foot over, side to side. You're going side to side. It's kind of fun. Just side to side, hanging out. You know, what I like to do when I am foam rolling, if I don't have somebody to talk to, you know, somebody at the gym, somebody that I can chat with, I really like to spend my time breathing and sending my attention to the muscle group I'm working. Take that bottom. If you find that sticky point, give yourself some ankle rolls in both directions. Woo, and breathe back and forth. Good, and let's go to the top. Right below the knee, back and forth. I don't know about you, but this one gets really tight for me. Up near the top where the calf connects. Yikes. I find a really tense spot and then I do an ankle roll in both directions and I breathe. Back and forth. After you've gotten the calves all rolled out, we're going to move on up to our hamstrings. And from here, we're just going to start once again, right below the knee, not on the knee, but just above, or right above the knee rather. And we're going to go hip to knee. So all the way up, all the way down. Now, I find that this one doesn't bother me very much. My hamstrings aren't super tense, so this doesn't bother me. So sometimes using a harder foam roller or even like a PVC pipe, something very tense, that will get into those muscles a little bit more. But either way, just kind of breathe through, back and forth. And then from here, I like to shift on to getting my IT band. So we'll do our left leg first. So for getting our IT band, we're going to come right to the center of our leg. And I like to come onto my elbow to control this one. And we're going to be moving down right above the knee to the side of the foot. I anchor with my top foot. So if we're doing our left side, anchor with your right foot over the top, and you're sliding down toward the knee and then up toward the hip. Down toward the knee, up toward the hip. This is a great muscle for releasing tension in your knee, tension in your hip. Typically, we have tight IT bands if we are sitting a lot, or if we do a ton of squats and don't roll out, or if we do a lot of running, we have tight IT bands. So you're going back and forth, and let's say you find a sticky spot. There's my sticky spot. You're just going to stop there, take that bottom leg, move it back, move it forward. Find another spot, move it back, move it forward. So you're just rolling back and forth. Ooh, mine is tight, let me tell you. Let me focus on it for a second. Each muscle group should get about 10 pass-throughs. That's going to look different for every person. Find those pass-throughs. If that's not if you're not hurting like I am, you can feel free to take that top foot and place it on there. Whew, that's going to hurt too much for me. All right, let's go ahead and go to the other side. Even us out right away. So we'll get the IT band on our right side. So once again, I like to hinge with come onto the elbow, place that top foot in front, and you're rolling down the hip to the knee. From hip to knee, kind of right where your quad and hamstring connect. Right there, there's a line right there, and it needs some love. Once again, if you find that spot where, it's a little sticky, go ahead and just take the bottom leg, put it in, put it out, breathe. Good. Good, we've got those IT bands. Now we're going to get the piriformis. And I love getting this one. It's a very small part of your body, right at the back of your kind of low back where your glute comes together. And from here, it's similar to the IT band in direction. Let's work on our right one. So if we're working on our right one, we're going to place our left foot on the ground. We're going to bring our right foot atop our left, and we're going to kind of dig in to that foot that's up. So it's going to be this back. We're looking for this place back here right below our tailbone, kind of above our glute, and when you find it, you'll know it. So when you find that place, go ahead and sink into it and breathe. You're just rolling back and forth on that spot, that piriformis spot. And same thing, if you find a spot that's a little tense, just go ahead and move that leg a little bit. You can absolutely still roll out your piriformis while keeping that leg down. Just make sure you're not engaging the leg. Try to keep it dead or try to keep it loose so that you can really dig into that back glute, high hip. It's typically what gets tight if we spend a ton of time sitting. It's also what prevents us from engaging this airplane's going to compete for sound with me. But that piriformis is what keeps us from engaging our glutes. So if you are squatting and doing all these squats and lunges and you feel like, why isn't my butt getting stronger? Like, why is this not translating correctly? Sometimes it's because you're using your piriformis instead of your glutes. So if you can loosen that, release that, you can typically put more attention into the glutes. So rolling out here and breathing. Good. So then we'll go to the other side. We'll put our right one down, our left foot over our right knee. And once again, you'll know it as soon as you find it. You'll like, oh, it's a little tense spot, at least for most of us. You'll find that spot right above your glute. Roll into it. And once again, when you find those sticky spots, go ahead and sit on it, breathe, move the leg around. Good. Very nice. Awesome. All right, so we're going to move on up to our back before we flip over. Okay, so we're moving on to our back, and I like to typically put it right in the middle of my back, kind of where my bra line goes, right there, and I like to start by just tipping back over it and then bringing it up. It's not a crunch, even though it looks similar to a sit-up. It's more about opening the spine and then coming to neutral. Opening the spine, coming to neutral. So just go ahead and find that place here. This feels so wonderful. Now, and then I'm going to have you pick up your hips and give yourself just a small roll. And you're going to support your head with your hands, so you're not getting a neck workout. So you don't want your elbows way up here, but you want your elbows out a little bit. We might bring our elbows in for the end just to get a little bit more of a push in there. But you're going from your shoulder blades, from the high end of your shoulders, to that mid-thoracic back. So you're not going into the lower back. Sometimes it'll grab your clothing like it did for me. You're just going back and forth. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper, all you're going to do is take your right elbow, twist it up toward the top, and then you're going to be able to get in behind that shoulder blade just a little bit. And these aren't big movements, guys. They're just small movements. So you're getting behind that shoulder blade, which feels amazing. Breathe. Good. Believe it or not, it's like super late at night, like 6 o'clock, but that sun is beaten. Good. Good, and let's come up with our left elbow. A small, slight twist, getting behind that left shoulder blade. Ooh, it feels nice. Good, and if we come back to center, you can go ahead and hug yourself, and that allows you to get a little bit deeper into that spine as well. Good. So flip it over, get the front side of our body. Let's start with the quads. For our quads, we're just going to bring it to our quads. We're going to come down to the mat, and we're just going to go from the hips to right above the knee. Back and forth, rolling down, right above the knee. And the same thing happens here, so that when you find a spot that's a little sticky, go ahead and take one foot in, take the other foot in, and come on back and breathe. This one always feels good unless you just did a bunch of squats or lunges, in which case this might not feel that great, but it's doing really good things for your body. It's like a massage. Although a massage is usually a little bit more enjoyable, this is doing a lot of the same types of benefits. Good, and from here we're going to come and get our TFL, which is right up here by our hip. So essentially we're going to start on hands and knees, and we're just going to bring our hip into the roller, and you're just getting that kind of that tender part right above, like right where your quad meets your hip. So you're just kind of finding that place right here, and you're just rolling right over the top. Good, let's get the other side. All right, it's about to get even more fun. So we've hit a lot of the main ones. We're going to get our anterior, the front part of our calves. So to get that one, you're going to start by coming into tabletop, so your shoulders are over your hands, your hips are over your knees, and we're just going to bring our right foot up, kind of like we're coming into pigeon, and set it onto the foam roller. And then from here, you're just getting the top of that leg, right? And breathe. You're kind of supporting yourself with your hands and with that back leg. Head it up. And once again, if you find that sticky part, do yourself a ankle circle in each direction. Ooh, mine are tight. These will take some getting used to. You're not going to be super good at them, just starting out with the quad rolls and the hamstring rolls. Those are fine, right? Those are easy. But some of these funky ones, getting different muscle groups, they're going to take some getting used to, some finesse. In fact, you might get a little bit of a workout doing your foam roll, even though it's supposed to be a cool down. And that's okay. Once again, let's get the other side. Shoulders over hands. Bring that left leg up, kind of like you're bringing it up for a pigeon stretch, and you're coming back and forward. Awesome. All right, we're gonna get that inner thigh. To do that, you're gonna kind of come onto the ground, and let's come onto our stomachs actually, and bring the foam roller by your leg, and we're gonna angle it away from us, okay? So angling it away, inner thigh on it, we're just gonna roll it in toward the groin, and then out toward the bottom of the thigh, in toward the groin and out. And once again, this isn't a large movement, but it's just getting that inner thigh, and find those sticky places. Go ahead and extend the leg, bring the leg back in. And breathe. Man, I don't know if I'm the only one that's tight, but these hurt. Good. Let's come to the other side. I don't know if that was 10, but that was enough for me. Once again, let's angle it out. So we're laying on our stomachs, we're angling the foam roller out, we're placing our leg right on it, right above our knee, and rolling out toward the groin, and then toward the knee. Good. Remember to find those spots. Move it out, move it in, and finish up. All right, guys, we're almost done. We're going to get our lats. So to get our lats, we're going to set the foam roller right underneath kind of our rib cage, and we're going to set up kind of, I call it licking like a mermaid. Sorry if that's not your thing. You're just going to go ahead and sit here, and you're just going to bring your body down and up. So it's not a big movement here. You can take that bottom arm out long. That's going to help get in to the rib cage just a little bit more. And you can move up your rib cage as you go. Remember to pay attention to your posture in all of these movements and your breathing. Good. And while we're on the side, before we move to the other side, I'm going to show you your tricep. So you're going to put your arm out to the side. You're going to use your inside arm as support. And all you're doing is rolling back and forth. I'm going to put this down a little lower. Get a little push-up with that side arm, right? Good. Let's come to the other side. Lats into our mermaid. That arm out. And let's get that tricep. Good. All right, so that is the full foam rolling routine. It doesn't take all that terribly long, 10-15 minutes, right? It's not so bad. Try to get about 10 pass-throughs through each muscle group. Of course, you can do it with me every time you want to. Otherwise, once you kind of get the hang of it, you don't have to turn the video on. You don't have to watch it every time. But make sure that you take foam rolling seriously, because if you only do it when you're sore, it's just going to be a horrible experience. Whereas if you are preventative and proactive, you can do foam rolling and have it be kind of delightful, kind of massage-like. If you do it before your muscles are super knotted up, super tight. If you could continue to do foam rolling 2 times a week, maybe even 3 times a week, 4 times a week, if you're awesome, you're going to be taking amazing care of your body. Take foam rolling seriously. You're going to be moving in a much more quality way, and it's going to affect and influence your workouts. So please take foam rolling seriously and try to do foam rolling at least 2-3 times a week. So